Hello, welcome to the Clouds Experiment, where I complain about all sorts of things. Today, I'm still talking about this Ed Piskor situation. The comic book artist. Now, I do have to say, not the greatest fan, although I'm sure he has stuff out there that I might appreciate. I am familiar with his hip-hop comics. Didn't know anything about his Red Room comics until after he had passed. Know that he had done some work with Harvey P. Carr. Actually, I might have read the Harvey P. Carr. It was like the about the Beat Generation. So there's a possibility I did actually read that. But there's so much material about the Beat Generation that's out there. I would have to actually pick another copy up, look it over again, see if anything comes back to mind. But that is not what I'm here to talk about. It's the question that's been bugging me. What exactly did he do wrong? You see, the left has this new game where they say, oh hey, here's a new rule. And the new rule seems to come out when somebody doesn't like somebody else and they're like, hey, there's a target we can focus on. And they continue to push this new rule until the person's life is destroyed, or in Piskar's situation, he's no longer with us. Now, the other thing, this new rule, it's not a legal rule. It's just one that here it is. One that they pulled straight out of their ass. So, here's some of my questions. Why is it Leonardo DiCaprio has engaged in worse conduct over the last 20 years, doing something horribly worse to several women of the same age range that this accuser was of Piskar, and nobody says a damn thing? It's just Leo. He's got money, he can afford his screw ups. It's fine. No. So Leo does this. He starts dating these girls at like 18, dumps them when they are like 20, 21. Kind of like the porn industry, now that you think about it. Huh. Yeah, I'm sure he's really dating somebody 20 years younger so that he can engage in some intelligent conversation there. And then you've got Al Pacino. Al Pacino, his girlfriend, is it wife or is it just girlfriend? Don't know. But she's like young enough to be his grandchild or possibly great-grandchild. And he just had a kid with her. Had a paternity test because he's like, hey, I'm old. I know that she likes to run around with some young guys from time to time. I'm going to make sure I'm paying for my kid. Good on him. I mean, that's kind of smart, right? But at the same time, if creepy is now the definition of what is not acceptable, how is it these people are still running around? Jason Statham, a man whose movies I am a huge fan of. He makes bald men look good. However, he's married to a model 20 years younger than him. Nobody says a damn thing. So is it a matter of status? Is it a matter of money? Is it because these women agreed to these situations because of the, I don't know, the lifestyle, the profit, the income? It's like, unless they bitch about it in some way, or there's a divorce and accusations are made, is that when all of a sudden this behavior is no longer okay? It's reasonable questions to ask. And besides, why weren't all of the messages between Piskor and this girl released? I mean, they weren't just screenshots of the phone. These things were cut for a reason. It's because they could take things out of context, right? And that's exactly what he said in his little last of days note that he left on Facebook. So what is it? Where's the rule? Where's the rule book? That's what I'd like to know. We used to have these books on etiquette. Your butter knife goes here, your fork is placed here, you sit at the table in this manner, so and so passes the food in this direction. You had all of this etiquette that you had to memorize in order to have a nice, civilized, peaceful dinner. There's no rules written down. It's just, oh, that's creepy. Oh, that's sus. First of all, if you're going to use this in order to make a rule, how about you use an entire word instead of abbreviating it to some bullshit that, again, you just pooped out of your ass. We all know creeps. We all know creepers. And unless they're doing something illegal, do you harass people online to the point where they feel like there's no way out, and the one thing that they can do in order to end all the agony that you're causing is their best option? Is that what we do with creeps? The people that are considered to be creeps. Is that what's going on now? And who defines as to what is a creep and what isn't? Because, I mean, Al Pacino could be a creep. Leonardo DiCaprio, kind of a creep. But that's just somebody else's opinion. This isn't law. And when they were using the P word on piss score, as some lawyers pointed out, well, the statute, or the age of consent in Pennsylvania is 16. Okay. I mean, was he looking up the law when he was chatting with this chick or not? I highly doubt it. I doubt that he was just like, oh, hey, I can get away with this. No. And if you have a problem with older people talking to younger people, how about you talk to your, I don't know, House representative, state representative? Maybe get these laws changed if you don't agree with them. Mississippi looking at you, what, age of consent is 13? That's what our politicians say, is that 13-year-olds can consent. Kind of got a problem with that. But, again, if you got a problem with this stuff, maybe ruining somebody's life online is not the best answer. Perhaps you can go and talk to your local politician and say, hey, can we draft this bill that, I don't know, if you're considered an adult legally at the age of 18, perhaps we should have the age of consent to be 18. And 18-year-olds make horribly stupid decisions too. Look at OnlyFans. So yeah, I don't know who these people are that are making these horrible decisions and thinking it's like their God-given right to go around destroying people because, I don't know, they're more successful than them. Is that what his real crime was? He was well known for making these comic books and getting recognition for it. Have no idea. And then you got this chick that works for DC, and she just jumps in and like, I've always warned everybody that he's a creep. Okay, here's the other thing. You got guys like Gene Simmons running around. This dude will ask anything out all day long. And his reasoning is, well, eventually somebody will say yes. He's not wrong. Now, if somebody asks somebody out and they say no, And he goes along, he asks somebody else out, and eventually he finds somebody that says, yeah, sure, I'd like to go out with you tonight. Did he wrong the people that said no beforehand? Oh, well, it just made me feel uncomfortable. Oh, maybe were you wearing a sign that said I feel uncomfortable in social situations? Are these people supposed to know what you like and don't like? Do you hand out a card to people saying like, yeah, just gratuitous flirtation with me is not acceptable? We live in this weird world where everybody is offended by the stupidest shit, and it's like there's no set rules for anything. You could go out and do something that is you might consider perfectly normal for your area, right? My daughter goes to a daycare, and one of the moms that goes to the daycare, she drops off her kids, and she's talking to this other woman. This is all overheard by me as I'm either, I can't remember if I was picking them up or dropping them off. Doesn't really matter. The context of the conversation, though, is one woman asks the other, oh, aren't you married to so-and-so? And she says, yeah, that's my husband. And the woman says, oh, that's what we thought. Blah, blah, blah. And then the woman goes on to explain that she went to school with the man's daughter and they graduated high school 1 year apart. And that her and her husband's daughter are really good friends. But they're about the same age. That seems to be pretty common up here. There's a couple that disappeared. The guy was like 38 and I think the girl was 19. And they ended up, might as well say, freezing to death in the middle of nowhere after they got lost. But yeah, that was another couple that was living up here. Seems to be, I don't know, when I was in high school, it was not uncommon for the girls to go seeking out older guys. There were girls that I went to high school with that were dating college guys. There were girls that I knew from other schools that were, they were either being invited to college parties or they were hanging out with the college guys, didn't want anything to do with the high school guys their own age. But I don't know, like, yeah, guys who are able to supply alcohol, that's fine. Because there's not that big of an age difference. They just have easier tools to take advantage of him. And the girls think it's fine because he's cute. Then you have older, successful guys. And I think Jordan Peterson talked about this too. Where it's like you've got the guys who work their ass off. They're successful, they're stable, they have their own place, they own a car. Nothing's going to get repoed. They have a steady job. You know, security. That thing that women tend to go for, right? Do they want somebody their own age that's been hooking up with everything left and right, has never really been in a stable relationship, might be able to pop out one or two kids? If they don't have any kids by the time they're in their late 30s, there's a good chance they're just like, no, that's not for me. But yeah, so is it uncommon for younger girls to go for older guys? I don't think so. So why this guy is considered a creep for not having inappropriate conversations with somebody younger than him online? I mean, isn't that the whole point of the internet, is that we can converse with people we otherwise wouldn't meet? And then the one The one comment he made that was taken out of context was when he realized that she was probably like 17 and she was already drawing better than he was at that age. He's like, don't tell me you're 17, I'd be crushed. And there's nothing sexual about it. It was them talking about art and like her skill level for her age. Yeah. See, it's weird. This guy deletes himself off the matrix, right? Self-deleted. He pressed the button. And nobody's going after these assholes that accused him of stuff. Nobody. And I blame the companies too. I blame the museum that refused to display his artwork. I blame the media in his local area that did absolutely no fucking research, did not do their jobs. They're absolutely not journalists. They should be working for, like, I don't know, the Sun-Times, the Inquirer. They did none of their homework. Did they actually... Well, we tried to contact the girl, but she didn't respond. So you didn't get a copy of the messages between the two of them. You went by the little snippets that were taken out of context. Good job, journalists. You should all be fucking fired. You're horrible people. You're no better than the accusers that got him to do what he did. The bitch at DC. I was going around warning people that he's a creep. You must be a fun co-worker to work with. I bet you HR has a shit show with you. Then there's the other girl. He told me that if I sucked his, he'd give me his agent's phone number. And he's like, we had sex twice and she initiated both times. He didn't deny that they had sex. And yet, she's acting like, I went above and beyond and I still didn't get the number. Maybe that was her goal. He said the conversation never happened, or the comment never happened. And meanwhile, she's not willing to admit she had sex with him. And this is why guys just don't engage anymore. All of this is why guys don't engage. They see things in the media about these dudes doing stuff that's been going on forever. I already mentioned the names. And then when they try just having a conversation with somebody, they're just labeled, it all depends on the girl. It does. It all depends on the girl, and she'll either tuck that away like this bitch did and pull it out when she wants to play that card to try to get some type of recognition. I want people to know who I am. Oh, I have this weird link to this guy that my boyfriend encouraged me to continue talking to. So what did she tell the boyfriend about these conversations? Because apparently he didn't think that there's any type of grooming thing going on. And if there was, she didn't say anything to him. Probably because she wanted to get something out of him. And that's Piskar. So she's guilty as fuck too. You know, all of this really lies in the hands of women. And unfortunately, they're not willing to do a fucking thing about it. They have these stupid policies amongst themselves, like, believe all women. We all leave the club together. No, you don't. You leave bitches behind all the time. Oh no, she's really into him. We're gonna go. She's gonna have so much fun tonight. Yeah. Believe all women. Women are the future. We're going to fight for all the cushy jobs that we want to have and not the good paying jobs that we don't want to have. The thing is, you got two groups of women now, one asking where are all the good men at, and then you have this other group that says believe all women, so that there's some vindictive bitch out there that wants to destroy some dude's life. They're all required to jump in because obviously she did nothing wrong. And that's the problem. There's no policing of themselves, right? That's the other thing. Asia Argento, responsible for Anthony Bourdain's self-deletion from this planet. She engaged in sexual intercourse with a 17-year-old who was a co-star from a previous movie she did where he was 13 when they met. She's fine. She hasn't been touched at all. She made accusations about Harvey Weinstein and the things he did to her, while also staying in a relationship with him for 2 years afterwards. Yeah, it was so bad. She stayed in a relationship to the point where they were like meeting each other's families and shit. But again, this woman who co-opted the Me Too movement was guilty of the same shit herself. I don't see her being canceled. If anything, people defended her after Bourdain self-deleted. So again, where's the rule book? I want to see the rule book. Somebody send me a copy of the rule book. It's got to be on Amazon. When is it that it's appropriate to harass somebody to the point where they self-delete themselves? Why is it acceptable for a woman in her late 30s, the same age as Piskar, by the way, to seduce and have sex with a 17-year-old boy? Oh, I guess you look like a man. Yeah. I don't see anybody harassing her to the point where she wants to self-delete. Apparently she gets a pass. Al Pacino, he gets a pass. It's when there are no rules, like it's basically, the internet at this point is Mad Max. For whatever reason, the roaming horde of assholes just focuses on somebody and they're like, we're going to absolutely destroy this person because they did nothing to us. That's what it comes down to. There were some conversations between him and this girl, obviously not a woman because she's not mature enough to be acting a woman one years later. She was just a really vindictive bitch. Pick and choose little segments out of long conversations over a period of time and say, oh my god, I think he was a groomer. First of all, you need to fire your psychiatrist. If you're seeing one, your therapist. Well, it's obvious he was grooming you. Because a lot of these therapists are just also vindictive bitches manipulating their patients to say like, oh no, there's nothing wrong with you. It's men that are the problem. Yeah, none of these people should be given licenses. Because you want to see grooming, go see a therapist. So anyways, that's my question. Where's the rule book? Where is this written down? Oh, this is the definition of being a creep. Oh, this is unacceptable. It might not be illegal, but we're not going to tolerate this shit. Okay, so when you going after Leo? Keep on typing.